morning. Welcome to Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday. On behalf of Livia Vo and myself, she is not here today. She's not feeling good, but we want to welcome you to our tribe. So one of the things you may be wondering about, you've probably seen all of our social media, and we got a little buzz going on, man. We are gaining some momentum. So people are saying, what are these Eagles? What are y'all doing over there? So what we did was we are working on an Eagles Creed. And, you know, we want to make sure that you understand what we are, who we are, so that you can determine if you belong in our tribe or not. So, are you an eagle? Do you belong in our tribe? Here's how you're going to know. Number one, eagles don't hang out with turkeys, chickens, and vultures.
Eagles stand for peace and freedom. They know they were made to make a difference in this world.
Bruce?
Oops. There we go.
Somebody's always got to mess up the flow. Now it's
wouldn't come up right. Okay. Eagles have excellent vision. They see things that others can't. When they see an opportunity, they are prepared to take action.
Eagles fly high above the clouds and sit on mountaintops where the view is nothing short of spectacular. They live, work, and play in their genius zone.
Eagles have been known to move mountains for the benefit of others.
Not everyone is an eagle, but you're here today, so that tells us that you're either an eagle or an inspiring eagle.
When entrepreneurs from around the world come together, magic happens. You're encouraged, inspired, and challenged to soar higher, go further, faster.
And every eagle needs a place to roost, a place to call home, a place to be fed, a place to be nurtured, a place to be taught how to fly.
Angela?
Sorry, I was okay. Lunch and Learn Zoom Fridays is considered our Eagle's Nest, a place where heart-centered entrepreneurs and small business owners from around the world can gather each week to recharge their batteries and connect, partner, and profit. Are you an Eagle? Bring a friend and come soar with us every Friday at 11:30 a.m. Central Time.
All right. Thank you for that.
Nancy?
Yes.
You have done this a couple times and I've gotten confused. Is that you've put me after Juanita and then there's something magical comes after me.
Yep. We're going to,
we're switching that.
No, we're not. We just had, I didn't see if Helen was here or not and realized that I had to read an extra one. So that's what got us off.
Oh, okay. Cause yeah, okay, cool.
Is it, Nancy, is it possible to get the absolute updated version? Because I've got the one that says updated version in my email, yet it still shows a little different. There's a couple of other.
How about waiting on your mail this week?
Sounds good.
All you people should be, if you haven't already, I sent you a message to give me your mailing address because I wanted to send you a little gift. And imagine what that's going to be, right? The Eagles Creed. So anyways, if y'all will make sure that you send me your mailing address so that I have the latest, greatest on file, that would be great. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to wait on the screenshot because people are still coming in, but if you will remind me, don't let me forget, so I'll get us a good screenshot today. If you are a newbie, that means this is your first or second time here. Type hashtag newbie in the chat, and we want you to introduce yourself. So let's see who we have. First of all, we have a new member here, Miss Sarah Miner. So I'm going to let you go first. Welcome, Sarah.
Hi, everyone. So I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Nancy, for telling me about your wonderful Eagles. You know, it's funny, a little story, just kind of a side note. My grandfather gave me an eagle necklace many years ago that he had bought on the side of the road from a Native American. And so I've always loved eagles. So I think this is definitely kismet that I'm a part of this, a part of this tribe. I just needed to find you guys, right? So I am with Sarah Miner Design. I am a brand and marketing strategist, and I take your vision and make it come to life.
Well, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Catherine.
Oh, am I?
You're
okay.
good.
I'm good. Hi, everybody. My name is Catherine Leonard. I'm author and founder of Catherine's Divine Riches Project, Life Empowerment Fast Tracks for Life Change. I help leaders and professionals navigate existing change while discovering how to create deliberate change in their personal and work lives so they can have a happier, more fulfilled life.
And forgot to ask also, tell us who invited you here today.
You did.
All right, one down, folks. Let's see here. Gabriella, and it is not Gabby. I learned a couple of weeks ago, so don't make that mistake. Come on down. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much for saying that on my behalf. Hi, everybody. I'm Gabriella. I see a lot of familiar faces. I have had half a dozen people telling me all about you, Nancy. And I met you, I think, a week or two ago. And then Sarah said, you got to come to this. So I'm here. Yay! I do a lot of things. I spent 30 years being in accounting, but I'm totally recovering from that. I have my own 12-step program and everything. I'm kidding, but I have way too much.
I got the t-shirt for it. I'm right there with you, sister.
Exactly. So I have way too much personality for that. So in this last year, my shift has been into an online space. I help businesses get and stay remembered, and I help you get visible with social media engagement parties. And then I have a suite of tools to take it even further to make your life and business easier, better, and faster.
And one of the things is she has a business now that she has launched with these social media engagement, the posting parties. And Gabriella, you don't know this yet, but anyway, I have been really promoting, Influity and all of that. And she's one of them that's over there that's doing a terrific job. So we'll make sure that your link and everything goes in today, because that's one of our cross-pollination events that I absolutely highly recommend and love. So thank you. Lisa White, come on down.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be here. So I had a fantastic meeting with Nancy the other day. So yeah, very, very blessed to be on the call with you all today. So yes, my name's Lisa White, and I have a different accent. So I am the English girl that married a cowboy, and I live in Oklahoma. So I've just become a US citizen. So I'm super excited. I went to put my passport in today. So that's been sent off. So I sent off my naturalization certificate. So I'm just hoping it comes back. So, because that's kind of scary, because that's my only ID. I am also an Arbonne consultant, have been for the last 6 years, very passionate about health and wellness. I'm also a leadership advocate and teach local businesses at our local career tech on leadership. And I'm just a big advocate for the Direct Selling Association. I was involved on Capitol Hill last year with really promoting direct selling. So yeah, I'm just so grateful to be here. So thank you for the invite. And also we have bald eagles on our ranch outside that are just about to leave the nest, so which is really, really cool. So yeah,
if you can grab a picture and post it on my wall, I love it. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. All right, Jackie, come on down.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. It was such a joy to connect with Nancy yesterday. Thank you, Nancy, for all the golden nuggets you shared with me to help my business grow. And I help busy and financially successful business owners and entrepreneurs who are overworked, they're under a lot of stress, they want to be more productive, and they also quietly struggle with the drug and alcohol addiction. I help them get free from these addictions quickly so that they can live their life fully. My name is Jackie McLean. Thank you.
Thank you. Jocelyn, come on down.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to be here. Priscilla Rose invited me. She is so industrious. So I said, okay, sure, I'll come over. What I am is I'm an author and a spoken word artist. And so I've written 3 books. And I do an open mic. Well, we haven't done it lately because of COVID, but anyway, I do poetry. But what I'm interested in is trying to figure out how I can get my book out there around in the hands of everybody. So that's why I decided, yeah, I'll come on over. So thank you for the invitation.
Well, boy, have we got some opportunities for you. Can't wait to talk. We need to talk one-on-one. All right. Now, today is a little bit different. This is not our normal Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday. For those of you who are visiting, we typically do things a little bit different, but on the 3rd Friday of each month, this is where we come in and we practice our elevator pitches. And I tell you which one in advance that we're going to practice on. And we do a 1-minute elevator pitch, and that includes a hook, story, and offer. And then everybody will give you feedback on how to improve that, and you'll get some coaching tips. So we all do it in love. We want you to succeed because we're Eagles, right? We want to hang out with people who are successful. So we want to help you succeed. And one of the cool things is next month at our Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday pitch class, we are going to have them videotaped for you. So we really want you to work this month on getting any feedback, getting it down, drill it down, a beautiful elevator pitch. Okay, so that's what we're going to work on today. But in the meantime, I do have a couple of announcements. So we're not going to go through our normal itinerary, but just so that you know, we do recognitions, celebrations, we share best practices. We do a whole lot of things on our Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday. So this is going to be a little bit different. So quickly to run through these announcements, our co-op investment club since April 1, drum roll, please, let me hear you. 35.1% up. Woo! That is our average right now. So for those of you who may be wondering, we have an optional component. It's an investment club co-op, and you can join for $65 a year and $10 a month. And we invest in these projects, and every time they earn $1, the co-op earns money off of that. So we're really good. If you're a member and if you've not got your dues in for this quarter, need you to do that right away, because we have some really great projects coming up. One, we've got our virtual marketplace mastery book. We've got some tools and resources. And I just announced on Tuesday, I have an opportunity to get this group in front of 1 million eyeballs. And the majority of those are entrepreneurs and small business owners. So we need a little bit of money to do that. We can do it on payments, but y'all know I'm payment adverse. So I would rather just pay for it so I can have a lifetime deal to get in front of this, but it's going to take about $2,000 to get that done. So I'm excited about that. We have also today, we've got a cross-pollination event with the Grand Junction at 1:30. So if you've not registered for that, make sure you do, because it's always a fun time. Susan and Carolyn are awesome. We met again this week to try and work on some ways that we can continue to cross-pollinate and do some wonderful things together. So that's at 1:30. And then Dr. Scott has his event. Gabriella, if you'll put that in, that's on Thursdays at 4 Central, I believe, if that's correct. And then on Wednesdays, we have our LinkedIn posting party. And anybody here, you don't have to be part of our tribe to participate in that. So make sure that you sign up for that. I have started something new last week. I'm doing that link tree. And I tell you what, it's working magic. I love it. All my links in one place, because, you know, when you got 500 people asking me, what's the link to this, Nancy? What's the link to this, Nancy? It is a little bit, you know, time consuming to make sure that I'm following up with everybody. So next week's theme, typically we have a theme for our screenshots. So next week, I want us to do our bucket list, something that you have on your bucket list. So when you come next week, you can bring a prop or change your virtual background or anything like that. And today we didn't have one because we're elevator pitching. So I want to do a screenshot. So if everybody will look up, I've got a couple of screens here. And I'll do a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then everybody smile. 3, 2, 1. Got it. Next. 3, 2, 1. And for me, I've got one more. 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. All right, let's see if there's anything else I need on here.
Don't use the first one. I wasn't looking.
Oh, too bad. So sad. All right. There is one thing that I want to share with you today. And one of the things that we've been doing is talking about interesting people that we meet throughout the week and sharing that and spotlighting nonprofit groups and people who are doing really great things. So today, I'm going to share something quick with you right quick.
My name is Melissa Deely, and I want to tell you about an organization called Girls Matter. The website is girlsmatter.ca, and I'm one of the co-founders of this organization. And what we do is we raise funds to help keep girls in schools in Uganda. And in doing so, we break the poverty cycle, one girl, one family, one village at a time. We want the girls to stay in school and be educated rather than being married off as young teenagers and having children and following that poverty cycle of their parents. And the beautiful thing is when we keep these girls in school, they come back and help the village and everyone rises up together. We've been doing this since 2018. And we have had multiple girls finish high school, one girl finish university in that time, and another girl is just going into her second year of university. The girl that finished university, her name is Jane, and she is in business administration. And what she does is she goes back to the village where she came from, and she helps the adults in the village complete tax forms and bank applications to open bank accounts, etc., because they are largely illiterate and really struggle with filling out these forms. And this is something that she can easily help them do. So when these girls have the opportunity to finish high school, finish university, they come back and help those in the village, act as mentors to younger people, help the elders. And as I said, they all rise up together. So it's my absolute pleasure to be able to be part of this organization, helping the girls. And the other thing that's fabulous is we get to know these girls. We get video communication back and forth with them that we can share with the people that are helping raise funds for them. So they get to know a little bit about you, you get to know a little bit about them. And the reality is this all started because I watched a documentary called Girls Rising, which is all about the struggle of girls in third world countries to have the right to an education. And meanwhile, my own 2 daughters were moaning and grumbling about having to get up and go to school every day, as is so common in most households in North America. And I just felt like I needed to be doing more to support the girls that really want the education and can't access it simply due to a lack of money and funding. And in that documentary, there was a stat that said that if India could educate just 1% more of their girls, they would raise their GDP by $5.5 billion. And in that moment, I realized there's the answer, right? It's not easy, but it is a simple answer. Educate the girls. Thank you very much for listening. It is my pleasure to bring this information to you.
Love that. I met her last week, and she's got another one that I'll be sharing with you. And we was just talking about it, and she didn't have a video or anything, like that. And I said, oh my goodness. I said, we're spotlighting nonprofits and people who are making a difference in this world. Do me a quick little video so that I can share that with my group. And so she did that. I mean, she did it like right then, sent it over to me. And she said, I don't know why I hadn't thought about that before. She said, now I can use this across different platforms and, you know, instead of me having to say it. And I'm like, yeah, she did a great job for on the fly, right? So it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be from the heart. So anyways, I love that.
Does she happen to have a website?
Yes, I'll be putting that in the newsletter this week that I send out so that everybody will get it. I mean, gosh, the one we shared last week was so powerful. And I didn't realize that y'all wasn't able to hear the video, but thank goodness it had the text where you could read. And if you haven't, go back and look at that Eagle update. I mean, you will cry, guys and girls, you know, I mean, it was just so powerful. And I'm actually going to be meeting with her again, I think this week. But anyways, just wanted to share that with you. Always looking for people and individuals, and doesn't have to be a nonprofit, that are doing amazing things, because part of our objective for this group is we put our money where our mouth is, in our time, talent, and treasure. We want to make a difference in this world. So I'm going to hold you accountable and make sure that if that's what you say you do, we're doing it, right? And plus it's very inspiring. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to hop onto our featured speaker. And it is my pleasure to bring to you Mr. Bob today. And I know he is no stranger to many of you. He builds experts. That's what he does. That's his superpower. In his 18-year career building, he coaches entrepreneurs. He's mastered the difference between business owners and entrepreneurs with authority. It's how you build wealth and leave your legacy is the entrepreneurs with authority. Do you have authority? How do you know? He built his first full-time business to $250,000 with absolutely no advertising, which led him to celebrity status and an appearance on HGTV. Then guess what happened? You heard the rags to riches story? Here we go, Bob. Then he lost it all. He lost his home, his family, and his business. And for most of us, we understand that means your whole darn identity is gone practically overnight. So he's built his life back from scratch. He's now coached over 600 entrepreneurs through workshops and individual coaching. And I love this quote. His humor and personal story captivates and inspires. And he has the unique ability to mold examples and solutions in the moment for specific business inquiries while staying on his teaching platform. And what I love most about that quote, that's from his mama. Love it. So Bob, come on down. So happy to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting me, Nancy. I've been lucky to come to a few meetings before this, so I got a real good chance to understand what the community is about. So Nancy, remind me, how much time do we have? Is it 10 minutes or 15?
About 10, 15 minutes, because we're going to do our pitches today.
Perfect. So what I did was I made a short presentation, because if you've never been to one of my presentations before, my magic is in the questions. So I'm going to teach you a couple things, but my preference is all y'all are going to ask, all of you, see, now I'm talking like Nancy, all y'all are going to ask me particular questions about what we talk about today. So what I do is I help entrepreneurs become the go-to expert for what it is they do. So Nancy, I'm going to share the screen if that's okay. Hopefully you guys can see my presentation here. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So again, for those who don't know, Nancy had a great intro for me, but I've been an entrepreneur for about 18 years. And in that time, I've had some amazing successes like HGTV and celebrity clients in Canada anyway. And then, of course, I've had some amazing and colossal failures. I've lived in a car. I've lived in a storage unit. I've had to endure mental health challenges before it was a cool hashtag. So it took a lot to get me back. So my story, I guess, is riches to rags to some pretty decent riches. And what we're going to talk about today is understanding, how do you build your expertise online? And the key here is there are 3 pillars that will help you become the go-to expert for whatever it is that you do. We're going to talk more specifically about Clubhouse, but I want to qualify this first part, and then we'll talk a little bit about Clubhouse as well. So the idea here is there are 3 pillars to help you become the go-to expert, and that's marketability, credibility, and visibility. The idea being marketability is the sense of are there people who are willing to pay for the knowledge that you have? Your credibility is, how do we validate and verify that you are that go-to expert using third-party resources? And then we finish off with visibility. How are we amplifying that credibility for the most part? So for, when we look at, you know what, Nancy, I just realized I think I have the wrong presentation. Oh my gosh. Okay. Will you guys let me stop for a sec? Because I was like, this seems
You can go with it. It's okay.
Well, this
I'm
isn't
sure
going
it's
to
gonna
talk
be
about
great.
Clubhouse. I think we
All
want
right.
to talk about Clubhouse today.
Well, that's all right. While you're doing that, I'm
So
going
sorry.
to, that's okay. Thank you for reminding me about the attendance roster. I do share everything with those in attendance. So I will be posting the attendance roster in the chat. So make sure that you grab that while Bob's getting prepared.
Yeah. Now I feel Kate's pain last week.
That's
Oh
okay. She survived. See, she's here and she's still smiling.
She totally survived. Okay, I think this should be it.
Yeah, well, you know what? Yesterday I did my first interview and had 3 massive screw ups and laughed all the way through it. And before we started the first beginning of the interview, I did this whole clean it off, clear it off, getting rid of all the crap.
Absolutely. That's brilliant.
What you do. That's what you do.
Okay, here we go. This is the presentation that I wanted to talk about. So we're going to rewind. Okay. Hey, everybody. I'm Bob Minhas, and I help people with knowledge become the go-to expert for what it is that they know. I've been doing this for about 18 years with some amazing successes and some colossal failures. So what I want to talk about today is, how do you present yourself as the go-to expert on Clubhouse? So for those who aren't familiar yet, or who haven't gotten an invitation, Clubhouse is an invitation-only social media platform that operates solely on audio. The idea here being is you're connecting with people and rooms and communities using just audio, no different to live podcasts, if you will. For those of you that are wondering, should I be on Clubhouse? Is it worth the time that it would take for me to get on there? Right now, this stat is as of December. Of course, this has increased. Clubhouse is now over 10 million weekly active users. Now that's key because that was when it was iPhone only. So you can imagine now that they've opened up the platform to Android users, how many more people are there? And if you have a good sense of who your audience is going to be, the people that you want to buy your product or service or your expertise, more than likely you're going to find them somewhere on Clubhouse. And the interesting thing about Clubhouse is it is audio only, but it's global. So you can participate in conversations at 3 a.m. if you want to. But when you're setting up your Clubhouse for success, or when you're trying to wrap your head around Clubhouse, what you want to really think about is, what's my funnel, right? When you use Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, you're trying to think how I'm getting people to see my platform, and then how am I getting them on a call with me? Or that should be your goal. If you're one of these humble business owners that really just want to help people, that's an extremely awesome goal. But you can't feed people if you've got an empty stomach. So you really want to think about, how am I meeting people in the Clubhouse app, and eventually taking them to some sort of interaction with me, whether paid or maybe not paid. So you want to think about, first of all, what's your first impression on Clubhouse? And before this session, I had an opportunity to work with some guinea pigs who were super kind to walk through what their Clubhouse profiles would look like. And what I discovered is there are 3 key factors that were missing. And I will tell you, what I talk about here can be applied to any social media network, but because Clubhouse is audio only, your first impression, that bio that you put up there, really is much more impactful than any other distracting image or video that you can put on other platforms. So think about your image, that avatar. What does that picture look like? I mostly recommend that picture is one of you, and it's a clear, professional looking photo, no different than LinkedIn, because again, you're establishing a connection with people. They want to see visually who you are. Now, I'm not saying they want to visually see what you look like. Those folks are on Bumble and Tinder. They want to get a sense of, that energy that you put out there. And I will say that can come from a picture of your face. Your username is also key. The last thing you want to do is, I remember when I was in college, my username for everything was Bandit Bob. I'm Bandit Bob because I'm a tough guy and I'm cool. But here's the thing. When you're trying to establish a connection, especially a rapport around your expertise, the username really should be your name. The goal here being that everything around you is branded as Nancy, as Angela, right? And your full name. So keep in mind, when you're choosing a username, or if you've already chosen one, that username to get the most impact really should be your name. Another reason why that's important is, on Clubhouse, when you search, the algorithm of Clubhouse is designed so that it looks for exact terms. So if someone is searching for your name and your name is Bandit Bob, you may not likely get found, and we wouldn't want that. Now, the third part, your bio. This is huge. Your image and your username is key. Your bio is what really gets people to take interest in what you do. And so whenever I work with someone and get their bio straightened out on Clubhouse, I give them 3 things that they need to work out in that bio. Now, the character limit is pretty huge. I think you can get as much there as you can in a Facebook post. But what you really want to think about is the first line that people see on your bio is what they see everywhere. Because on Clubhouse, when someone clicks on your profile, your bio is truncated. It only shows the first line or 2. So in that line or 2, how are you convincing people to pay attention to you? So you want to talk about how you help people. And for those of you that haven't worked with Nancy before, I know Nancy has some really great resources on how to help you create that intro. How do you define what your expertise does and who it helps, right? So for example, hi, I'm Bob. I love helping speakers, coaches, and podcasters get seen and paid for their expertise online in just 1 hour a day. Now, granted, you can add more to your bio, but that first line is what's going to get the attention of people on Clubhouse. Once you've written that, the next paragraph or the next section of your bio that you want is talk about you. What's a short story about you? That bio that I gave Nancy, that's the bio I use on Clubhouse because I like people to know that I have a bit of a humor. I don't take things seriously, but I have accolades and accomplishments. So, what have you done? Why do you do what you do? The age-old Simon Sinek question, why do you do what it is that you do? And what is that proven authority? Claudio is my favorite example because if I've worked with Claudio before he was with Cash FX, and I'll tell you, he has no shortage of testimonials, people saying that they've had an amazing working experience, but also an amazing personal experience with him. So keep in mind, your proven authority doesn't just have to be, I've accomplished $1 million a day. Other people might say, I'm an award winner, and those are key. But what I find works really well is including third-party references to why you're good or why you're the go-to expert in what it is that you do. So that's your first impression. The next thing you want to consider on Clubhouse is who's your audience? And I know we talk about this in business in general, but in Clubhouse, there's a vast amount of people there. And right now, those people aren't what I would call segmented, which means on Clubhouse and on Instagram, there are hashtags, on Facebook and on Instagram and on LinkedIn, there's hashtags and stories and video. There's so many ways that people can participate, but on Clubhouse, it's just audio. So who is it that you really want to talk to? Who is it that your ideal audience is? And what keywords are they using to connect with people? What keywords would be in their bio? Because again, when you use Clubhouse search, it's very specific right now. It only looks for those specific words. So really understand what magic words people are using to get found and to be found. My key secret here is ask people who know you or people who buy from you. If they wanted to find out someone that does what you do, how would they search on Google? What would those words be, those phrases and words be that they use on Google? That's what you should be considering when you're searching for connections on Clubhouse. The other part of this is what rooms should you be participating in? So for those of you that have not yet jumped on Clubhouse, the way it essentially works is when you jump, you're presented with a series of rooms with different themes and different topics and different clubs. You choose a room, you jump in, you listen to the conversation. If you're lucky, you jump on stage and you participate in the conversation. So what you want to figure out is once you know where your ideal audience is, what rooms are they in? So Clubhouse is new. So there's a lot of new interesting rooms. There are rooms on why guys don't show up for dates. There are rooms on how to properly wipe your bum with toilet paper. There are rooms galore. And so granted, the reality TV show junkie within our brain says, oh, I got to check out that room. If you're spending time on Clubhouse to build an audience and build some kind of income, what you want to do is make sure you're only jumping in the rooms where your ideal client's spending time, because you want to be seen there. Of course, then they see your bio, their first impression is done, and they want to get to know you more. Or better yet, you somehow get on that stage and share your magic knowledge. Finally, really understand, how do you get paid using Clubhouse? And this is where this funnel idea comes in that I was talking about earlier. This idea that, you can't direct message on Clubhouse. So how am I getting people to hear me, to see me, to love what I do, and then to take action? Well, taking action on Clubhouse is a follow. We want people to buy from you. So on Clubhouse, in your bio, you can also add your Twitter account and your Instagram account, no other platform. So if you're not active on those 2 platforms, I would ask you to consider using perhaps a bit.ly link or something else, but understand it won't be a live link. It's a little bit difficult. If you're going to use Twitter or Instagram, what you want to figure out is, how are you directing people to take action to go to that platform? So I'm a fan preferably of using Instagram. So in my profile, I say, hey, send me a direct message on Instagram using this magic word for this free download. Or, hey, if you're stuck, send me a DM on Instagram. I'm constantly encouraging people to take action, to find me on Instagram so I can have those conversations, which eventually, if you're good at what you do, turn into sales conversations, right? So the sale doesn't happen on Clubhouse, much like TikTok. The sale doesn't happen on the platform. It happens, the establishment of your expertise, your credibility, and if people like you, happens on that platform. You direct them to somewhere like Instagram where you have these conversations and have a quick offer. Here's the other thing I meet with a lot of experts or people who have products or services. They have so many things that they can do, and they have high-end offers, 10K, 15K. But you have to understand when you're establishing a relationship with people on Clubhouse, you want to have an offer that's quick and accessible. I'm going to pick on Claudio again. He has the perfect low barrier offer. If you want to make passive income and you got this money to invest, I'm going to make it happen. DM me on Instagram to learn more, right? Makes a lot more sense than if someone with like Nancy's offer to say, hey, we have a group who invests in startups and helps us grow our income. That's a little bit more difficult to get that, right? But if Nancy were to say, hey, are you looking for ways to be an investor without having $1 million? DM me on Instagram. Make sure the offer that you're going to make is clear and that it's accessible and that people can easily learn more about it. So that's what I would suggest for Clubhouse. Now, I want you all to take a screenshot. I will send this as a PDF to Nancy to share with the group as well. These are my favorite Clubhouse resources that have these are not owned by Clubhouse. These are third parties that started all of these amazing websites that allow you to get further on Clubhouse. So you can find out what clubs are active today. Hey, maybe you want to have sound effects. Last time when Nancy was asking for a drum roll, you can literally use that a free app to create a drum roll. You can look at analytics. You can find top performers. So maybe you're thinking, I want to be in rooms where my ideal audience is, but also where high profile people are. Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins. I've even heard Paris Hilton jump in a room. Links here to direct people to Clubhouse events, analytics, and my favorite, that last one on the bottom. Yes, Clubhouse is a mobile app, but there's a desktop version. So if you're like me and you don't want to admit you need glasses yet, grab that link, get on Clubhouse, use the desktop version, and keep this a secret. And with that, I want to open it up to questions. I may have gone over 10 minutes, Nancy, but hopefully from there we can open it up to questions.
I think you did amazing.
Fantastic job. We've been talking about Clubhouse for a while. For those of you who need an invite right now, put your name in there and let us know, Android or Apple. I know I have some, and every time I give some out, they give me more. So anybody else who needs it, put your information, just say, I need an invite down there. Bob, amazing job. Who has a question? Who has a question for Bob? Kate.
Okay,
so don't talk about my way I'm looking. I know Kate's gonna be like, on Clubhouse, you could look prettier.
Hey, when you know you're looking prettier, you do actually come across better, whether anybody can see you or not. How do you like that?
I love that.
So, I have it open. I haven't got a clue what to do with it.
Yeah, it was hard to do screenshots because even with the desktop version, it doesn't come through really well. So let's go, when you go into Clubhouse, ideally you're signed in, is that right?
I am.
Okay, so
wait, before you do that, anybody else that wants to sign in, maybe want to jump on before
for sure
moving forward. If anybody else is
I'll keep it quick because I know that we only got so much time. But I want to give you, oh gosh, I have to sign back into my app because when you use the desktop version, see, I can't get on there. Okay, I'm going to do this by memory. So when you jump in, you're going to be presented with all of these different rooms, all of these titles, all of these themes. Do you see that in there, Kate?
No, I don't see anything. I see, hi there, start a new room or get a conversation going. So I'll dismiss that page.
Okay, yes. So have you followed anyone on Clubhouse yet?
No, I haven't done anything.
Okay, no worries. So here's what I would suggest. To get started, before any of the other stuff I just shown you, I want you to look at everybody's name here on the Zoom, use the magnifying search option on Clubhouse, and follow all those people, Kate. And what'll happen is it'll start then to populate you recommended rooms to you then. Right now, it doesn't know because it doesn't know who you're following.
So I'm sorry, what did you say about doing what?
Do you see a magnifying glass that looks like a search option on your screen?
Yeah, but I clicked it. I know I clicked it, but all I got is a list of names.
Okay, so in there should be somewhere you can type in a name. Is that correct?
find people in clubs, Kate.
Yeah. So what you're going to do is start with my name. Type my name, Bob space Minhas. And my profile come up. You can follow it. By the way, any of you follow me on Clubhouse and steal my profile, my bio, copy it word for word. Don't
Already on it.
Perfect. Awesome. Once you've done that, Kate, I want you to spend as much time as you can going through the Zoom room here and seeing all the names on the screen. Put it into that search, and that'll help you build a following, right? That'll help you build people to follow.
Okay.
Only then will Clubhouse present you with rooms, right?
Okay.
The other thing you can do in that search, Kate, is you could put a keyword. So maybe you put something like color consult or first impression, some sort of random, because we haven't figured that out for you. And ideally, it should present you with either people who talk about that in their bio or clubs whose main theme is to talk about that. And then you can either follow those people or follow those clubs. And when you've done that part, again, you'll see much more rooms related to your expertise. And then you can jump in and listen to those rooms, hear what's going on. But Kate, with your natural charm and ability, I would try and get on the stage right away. You can raise your hand and try and get on a stage. You know what we can do, Kate? Why don't we do this? Kate, I think you have my calendar. Let's set up a 30-minute call where you and I will go through Clubhouse together. Because your brand's a little bit more established. It's a little bit easier than starting with someone from scratch.
Okay.
Is that okay?
One of the other things that I shared with you, I believe it was last week, is in order for us to have our own club, we want our Eagles to have a club of our own so that we can just have it automatically set up, and anything that we want to do, we can do that. And so I have to have 3 events, I believe, before I can apply to be a club on there. So I will be letting you know.
Nancy, are you sure? I think they've lifted that. Are you sure? I think everybody could start a club anytime.
Well, as of 2 weeks ago, they told me, and I could, maybe they have, but
okay.
I said you had to apply. Now you can start a room. You can start a room at any time. You know what I'm saying? But to actually have a club, but I'll double check and you do the same and let me know, because hopefully, that barrier has been lifted.
And then is there a different criteria between having a club and having a closed club?
Yes, I believe that's correct.
And what criteria do you have to meet to have a closed club?
Oh, no criteria. You
open
just
club, anybody can just come in.
When the club is set up, when you host an event, you could lock it so that only club members can come in. So you can prevent people from coming into the club or the room by that's in the setting of setting it up.
But is there any difference in qualification between an open club and a closed club?
No, they don't care. They won't really, they don't really ask that.
Okay.
One of the things, I think it was Kay, just so that everybody knows, she shared with me that every morning at 6 a.m., what is the time zone of that, Kay, that they do a Clubhouse?
That's 6 a.m. Central. There's, look for Abraxas. His last name, I don't know if it's Higgins or not. Let me look, because I'm following him.
There's like a Clubhouse 101, where you can go in there and learn some tips and techniques and all of that stuff. So that might be a good place for you to start as well. And
his name is Abraxas Higgins, and it's like an opening to Clubhouse. And what they do is the very first hour, they walk you through the entire app. Push this button, do this, push this button, this is what you can do. And I mean, they literally walk you through the entire app on how it functions and what every single button means, how to clap, how to tell them you'd like to come up on stage, all the little innuendos and type things. And then the second hour, they open it to questions.
All right. So that's another resource. Let's go ahead. Any more questions specifically for Bob?
I just dropped a link in the chat for Rachel Miller has an excellent guide on getting started with Clubhouse. So I recommend you grab that as well.
I wanted to also say that for those of you who are wanting to get into Clubhouse, go ahead and sign up and everything. And start your profile, because you'll be put on a waiting list for friends that who are already in Clubhouse, and I can just let you in.
Yeah, same thing here. That's what we want you to go ahead and download the app, no matter whether you're Android or iPhone. We'll see you on there, and then just let us know. And that way it's really easy. We can just go through there. Now, the other thing that I've noticed is I sent a couple of invites, and either you've already accepted or they're just hanging out there. Well, don't do that, because what happens is then I've got, you know, a couple of invites that I could be using for somebody who's going to use it. So that kind of messes up because you're limited to so many. But let's ask Bob any questions right quick, and let's get this wrapped up. Anybody have any other questions for Bob? Anything? Yes, Priscilla.
Yeah. Okay, when you sign up for the for Clubhouse, when I did it, they said something about Twitter. Are you automatically put on Twitter or something?
No, they'll ask you to put your Twitter ID. If you don't have one, you can just leave it blank for sure.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
because
I was
they own
confused about that.
That's one of their platforms that they own. It's under the same umbrella. So they want you to, they want you to stay within their family of social media. That's why we don't have live links to Facebook or whatever on there.
Okay.
All right.
So Clubhouse doesn't own Instagram. That's owned by Facebook. And
yeah.
So
Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't know that Clubhouse owns Twitter because Twitter just launched Twitter Spaces, which directly competes with Clubhouse.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there was they were in bed together for some ways. How they allowed that, you know.
No.
So anyway,
they were flirting. They were flirting.
That maybe that's what it was. But I remember I was reading up on that, thinking, why did they do this?
Yeah, I heard Twitter swipe left on Clubhouse. That's what it was. You see the people laughing, they know what I'm talking about, but there's other people like, what does that mean? Swipe left. You are the innocent people. I love you people. You're not marred.
What
is
swipe left?
Okay, let's not go down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
Thanks, Bob. All right, let's start. Let's close this down. Thank you again, Bob. That was absolutely wonderful. One of the things that Olivia was laughing with me on is she said, Nancy, you're going to love this platform. It's like back when you were a kid. And I thought, gee, thanks. And she's like, because it's like being on a party line. You don't have to worry about what you look like. You know, while you're working, you can have your headset on and just listening. So you can lurk in the hallways like you're eavesdropping in these rooms, or you can participate. So it's really a neat little thing. But again, you can get caught up, and before you know it, you could be in there for 2-3 hours and then you don't get any work done. So make sure that you have a focused, you know how I am, plan and strategy of how you're going to use this platform. All right, so let's get moving on our elevator pitches. So here's what we're going to do. Our icebreaker question that I want you to add today first is, what is your superpower? And we do sometimes table topics and different things. And this is the way that we have grown our relationships, get to know one another personally as well as professionally throughout this whole entire year. So before you do your 1-minute elevator pitch, tell us what we've got amazing people in here, so you have more than one superpower, but let's just focus on one superpower. What are you really, really good at? And then when you launch into your 1-minute elevator pitch, remember this: hook, story, offer. Hook, something that's going to grab attention, that's going to make people stop and lean in and listen to what you have to say. And then story could be, you know, a testimony or whatever, but mainly we want to know who you are, what you do, how you do it, what's in it for me. I don't care that you got 50,000 degrees and you're all this in a bag of chips. What I want to know is, how am I going to benefit? Why do I need to talk to you? Don't give away the farm. You've got to make it so interesting and captivating that they want to click that button to schedule some time with you. You can't do it all in 1 minute, folks. So you have to really be creative. Then the last piece is the irresistible offer. Whether it's a discovery call, whether it's something special. Now, one of the things I want to tell you is when you get into these virtual marketplaces and when you go into networking groups, you have a limited amount of time, but these people don't know you. So there's no trust factor there yet. So don't go in, even though you may be an expert, and throw out $1,000 product or service. You're not going to get any sales. Honestly, you're not. So what you need to do is you need to have some type of little introductory offer that's going to be a no-brainer. And I tell people usually, keep it under 35 bucks. Most people 20, 30 bucks, they're not going to scream and holler about, but they would do that versus coming right in for a $5,000 retreat when I don't even know you. Okay. So keep that in mind. The last piece is when you're in these virtual marketplaces, you need to have a hashtag, and the hashtag needs to be simple and clear, and you need to use it all the time. Now you can change these from week to week or whatever. And let me explain the benefits of using a hashtag. These chats get going and you see all of this all through there. So when you save the chat and you want to come back, you want to quickly find your leads, people who want to follow up with you. So a quick way to do that, instead of having to wade through all the garbage to get to the good stuff, which is people who want to interact with you, have a hashtag. Mine is hashtag show me the money. So I can quickly, those are the first people I follow up with. I go down through there real quick and look for anybody who has said hashtag show me the money. I follow up with those first. Then I go back and I see the others. The other reason and benefit for that is when you only have 1 minute to speak and introduce yourself, you need to have a quick way to tell them what to do to connect with you. So one of the easiest ways is to take advantage of my offer today, to schedule a discovery call today. Type hashtag show me the money in the chat instead of my links are here, do this. That takes up 15, 20 seconds, and you don't have that. That's as valuable real estate, that 30-second or 1 minute pitch that you have to do. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? All right.
Sorry, what was it? Hook, what an offer? What was the middle word?
Hook, story, offer. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a story. That's just who you are, what you do, if you have a testimonial or something, because those are very powerful. We've been learning several different techniques for our elevator pitches over the last year. Use whatever works for you. And then we're also going to be focused on the different ones over the next couple of months. And so I will give you a specific way, and then I'll give you that homework. So the next time you come in, you'll be prepared to practice that one. That way you can find one that resonates with your people better, and you'll find the perfect fit for you eventually. And most of us, we change them from week to week, for month, depending on the circumstances. So this gives you a really clear way to get in here, practice in a non-threatening environment. We tell you what we like, we tell you what we don't like, and we give you opportunities to change and perfect. So don't be nervous. It's a-okay. But the exciting thing that I'm going to share one more time is next month, we have Vic that's going to bring his admin team in, and he's going to videotape all of our elevator pitches, and this will be members only. You can come if you're not a member and you can participate, but you will not have yours videotaped. So this is a members only benefit that we are bringing forward next month. And so then you can use your video testimonial anywhere that you want to. So it's really super, super duper cool. All right. So let's go ahead, and what we're probably going to end up doing, we're not going to have time to get through everybody, and I'm not going to do the breakout rooms because we got a lot of new people and I want them really to get the full effect here. So we'll go ahead and carry this over next week as well. That way I want to make sure everybody gets good practice in. Who would like to go first? Raise your hand.
Nancy, do you want me to be the timer?
Oh, Marcia, that would be great. Thank you. Bruce, you want to go first?
Sure. Let's see here. So are you living your life to the fullest or just existing? Hi, my name is Bruce Barnes. I'm a mindset and wellness expert. I empower heart-centered people who want to improve their overall well-being and are ready to make the changes required to move towards their ideal life by using my courses, coaching programs, and technology that help you to actualize your full potential. Your body is made up of billions of cells, so your well-being depends on the health of your cells. Every cell in your body has a unique frequency and an ideal frequency range. Wouldn't it be nice to know how your body is doing and what areas need attention without traveling to a doctor's office and getting poked and prodded. Now there's a way to quickly and easily identify your well-being at the cellular level using a unique app. My special offer for you today is a detailed quantum wellness assessment, regularly $250, only $175 US. You can visit ultimatebodyscan.com for more details. Again, my name is Bruce Barnes. I look forward to helping you to actualize your full potential. Hashtag full potential.
Marsha?
That was 1 minute and 29 seconds. So Nancy,
Okay.
do you want me to stop people at 1 minute?
Yes, yes. Yep. Okay. Let's talk about this. Hook story offer. What was this hook? Just to give you a good idea.
Question.
Yes, you see how that made you lean in? He did that. And then he gave a story. What was that? Who remembers?
He mentioned something about not going to the doctor.
Yes. So my
Getting
thing
poked
here
and
is
prodded.
because everybody is sitting here kind of scrambling for their head. I think you gave us too much information today, Bruce.
Yeah,
And it's changed, and you've changed it. So we're
yeah, because
working
I
through
was
this.
thinking we were only going to do a 30-second one, so I added more in there and I added too much.
No, that's okay. That's okay. So Hook story offer. So his story, what resonated with you? What should be the piece that he keeps right up front? Let's talk about that first 30 seconds. What should he say? He did that. He talked about who he was and what he did. Who can tell me what he does? How he helps people? What are his products and services? It was very clear.
Courses and programs, I think.
And technology.
Some of the things that we miss sometimes is we get so busy talking about, you know, who we are and all these things that we actually forget to tell people what kind of services and products that we can expect. And so Bruce does a really good job of that. So we've got that piece. So we got the hook and the story, and then his offer. What happened, Bruce, this time was you went in for the kill, and then you went down a rabbit hole and come back for the kill again. So let's make sure that we have a very, very clear call to action, and they might want to learn more about that thing first. So that might be the piece of it, because I'm intrigued about that myself. Anybody else have anything that they, yes, Catherine?
Okay, Bruce, I don't know, I don't know you or what you do, so I'm coming totally, but what I'm saying is when you talk about potential, I'm not sure if you're talking about mindset or what, but then you get into the cellular stuff, and I was like, oh, wait, he's talking about body stuff. So that to me was not clear when you first started talking from somebody who does not know you whatsoever.
Yeah, because at the beginning, I say I'm a mindset and wellness expert.
Oh, I missed that.
Well, that's okay. So that's what we're here. That's what we're here. Anybody else?
Did you say you were a superpower, Bruce?
Oh, I guess, yeah, no, I did not.
What's your superpower between being my right hand wingman on the internet stuff? IT.
Yeah, I'm the go-to guy. No,
yes.
My mindset and wellness are my superpowers. Helping people identify what areas they need to improve on and how to do it.
All right, thank you, Marsha.
You want me to go next?
Sure.
Okay. Are you having too many mindless dates with the fridge? Need more energy? Are you feeling stressed out? I'm Marsha LaCour, and I'm the ageless advocate.
Somebody needs to mute their mic. Will
Barry, your
everybody
mic's
mute
on.
the mic, please?
Barry, your mic's on.
All right. I'm sorry, Marsha. Go ahead. Start again, please.
Are you having too many mindless dates with the fridge? Feeling stressed out? Want more energy? Well, I'm Marsha LaCour, and I'm the ageless advocate. And I love to help entrepreneurs like you take back your health by removing the weight, feeling more energized, and reducing stress. And I have helped dozens of people do just that. I have healed myself of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I was a sugar addict, and I broke that addiction to sugar. And my offer today, which is valued at $147, is the self-care bundle for just $15 US or $20 Canadian. And that includes a PDF of my book, a guided meditation, and a self-care checklist. And I do all of this with one-on-one coaching and group coaching. So go into the chat and put in the hashtag bundle.
Thank you. Excellent job. All right. She had her hook, and then she had her story, and she had a great offer. Did you see how clear and concise everything was? You went all the way through that. So what I think I'm going to do for the sake of time, let's go ahead and give her some tips, what you liked, what you didn't like, how she could improve. She just about nailed it, in my opinion. But let's open up the floor for some suggestions for her. What was her hook?
Her hook was
mindless dates with the refrigerator, right?
Yes, that's one of my favorite ones that she uses. I love that, right? So immediately you see her personality is shining through, and you're thinking, oh, that could be me. And then what is her story? She shared her personal testimony.
Yeah,
Her,
right?
her liver disease.
And she had testimonies from other clients. Go ahead.
Sugar addiction.
So if anybody in the group where she was at had those issues, they're going to immediately, their ears are going to perk out. So that's very important. You know, you can't be all things to everybody, but like I say, you might have a referral partner in here. Not everybody's going to be a client or a customer. So she's given us some very specific roadmap items to look for so that we could refer somebody to her, right? Key elements there. And then what was her call to action?
$15 to $20. I can't remember what it was, but
bundle.
Thank you.
Yes. And not only did she say that, so her price point was good because that's an introductory offer, but then she explained what was in that bundle. And sometimes you're not going to have enough time to do that, but she did. So she had explained what was in there, and then her direct call to action. How do we order from her?
You type hashtag bundle in the chat.
So she can quickly go down through there and see that. Everybody see how that flow goes? So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask you, the next person, I'm going to say hook, and you're going to tell me the hook. Then I'm going to say story, and you give us that. And that I think will make this go a little bit quicker. So raise your hand if you would like to go.
Just one other comment. When you're doing this, you're kind of on the spot and you can get nervous. And Marcia was kind of frowning and looked a little bit angry as you were talking. So try and remember to relax and smile when you do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Can I, Marcia, I know that probably 80% of the people out there have sweet and sugar addictions, but I'm probably one of the 20% that has a salt tooth. So maybe say if you have a sugar or a salt addiction.
My husband and daughter have that.
So yeah, that's actually really interesting because it's, what are they eating? Potato chips?
Mine is popcorn.
Yours is popcorn?
Mm-hmm, popcorn and chips, right?
Yeah, because if you're eating really good salt, your body actually stops you from, your body goes, I don't want any more salt. But oftentimes people are addicted to what they think is salt when it's actually sugar, because potato chips turn into sugar faster than sugar does. So you're getting a high from the sugar, even though your taste is saying, I want some salt.
Isn't that interesting? You never know what you're going to learn on Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday.
That is so cool.
Marcia?
I don't know if I could help somebody with a salt addiction. I don't have any experience with that.
I don't think it's salt,
love
really.
your integrity. Love your integrity there.
Yeah, I wouldn't include that in that case. So
no,
I haven't worked with anybody.
Okay. But thank you for the suggestion, because I know there are people, like I said, that have that.
Now,
Marcia, I just had a really cool thought, but I mean, probably won't go anywhere. But so whether so whether you're what's your line about the craving sugar?
sugar addict. I was a sugar addict.
Okay, because I was thinking, say something about whether you're getting your sugar through potato chips or sweet junk food, and then go, what does she mean by that?
Okay, thank you for
there could be a little trick thing in there, that would really get, because people would go, what?
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
I'll think about that one. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that could be really cool.
Yeah, because people like me, I mean, you've seen everybody in here. We can probably rewind and watch everybody go, what? That's something we didn't know.
Yeah.
But there's a big challenge with that, though. It's just that everybody makes the buying decision with their limbic mind. Okay, you got your thinking brain and your limbic brain, which is your heart and feelings. As soon as you throw a term or a phrase out there that people don't understand, they go from their feeling to their thinking, and they don't hear anything you say after that because they're trying to figure out what the hell did they just say? What does that mean? So that's the challenge. And so you gotta kind of balance it out. And
yeah, but it depends on what it is you're using. People are familiar with potato chips.
Now, Nancy, somebody said that I looked angry. I want to who was the person that?
That was Jock.
That was interesting because when I first started speaking, I was telling myself, okay, smile and be animated. So I'm just a little bit confused about that.
Well, this will be recorded so you can go back and take a look at it. Like right now, you're smiling.
Marcia, that was beautiful. You are very, when you smile, man, holy cow.
Yes. So go back and take a look. And we don't realize sometimes how, we think one thing and then, but that is, and sometimes you forget that you're on camera and you're doing all kinds of crazy things, so stop it.
But Marcia, timer, and I'm thinking I got 1 minute, so I have to focus here. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Marcia, you were also interrupted and had to start over.
Yes, that is true.
And that totally resets our brain.
Right.
Yes.
So that could have been something else. That shift could have made that difference also.
Absolutely. But anyways, bottom line, you had all the components. Well done. Great job, Marcia. Okay, Jackie, you wanted to go next. We have one minute pitch. First of all, let's talk about your superpower and then go into your 1 minute pitch. And we want to do the hook, story, and offer. So I'm going to let you do, what's your superpower?
I help people overcome their addictions very quickly, often in one session.
All right. Number 2, what is your hook?
Well, I guess I thought that was the hook, but I can tell you the story.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was thinking that was your superpower just for our chat, but anyway, that's okay. All right. Now story and then offer.
So let me tell you a story of how I helped a client, a lawyer, stressed, overwhelmed, drinking a bottle of wine a day. He was pleasantly surprised that he stopped his drinking habit in one session. He also stopped biting his nails in that first session. So my ask is, if you meet any with friends or family, please listen for this. I'm drinking way more than I like to. I like to stop drinking so much alcohol. I like to cut back. If you hear this, please keep me in mind. If they would like to stop, I can help.
Okay. And then your call to action. How would we contact you?
I invite you to schedule a complimentary call with me at my website, www.thepowerwithin.ca.
Okay, that's too long. Let's do a hashtag to schedule a discovery call with me. Type hashtag
hypnosis.
Good. Okay, hashtag hypnosis. All right, what can she do to improve her hook? Say that again, Jackie. Your hook in the beginning.
I help people overcome their addiction to alcohol quickly, often in one session.
All right. Instead of doing that as a statement, how about turning that around as a question?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Changing it over to a question would be a better hook.
For example,
I just give some feedback. When you ask a question, people lean in and they get emotionally engaged. And that's what Bruce was making that point. Then their heart is involved.
Yeah, because it's like either they can relate or they know someone in that situation. It's like, do you have an addiction that you would like to get rid of, or would you like to free yourself of addiction to alcohol?
Or do you have an addiction to alcohol because of stress related work?
Yeah.
Or even like, do you drink too much? Do you drink too much in the evening and regret it the next morning? Right? Like, because people don't know they have addictions necessarily. They just know how it affects them.
Yes, and Jackie and I had that conversation last night and they won't admit it. A lot of time people, like you said, they don't know it. Their family members and friends know it, but they don't know it.
Well, and if someone is drinking too much, a lot of times they're in denial. So could you ask, how often do you think about having a drink?
Oh, I love that.
That's good.
You know, because that doesn't ask a question about what's your current condition, because they may not understand what it is. But when they answer that question, it brings forth emotions. Like, this is way too many, or I can deal with this.
Or do you have a glass of alcohol more than twice a week or something? And
yeah.
Well, and what Kay said is perfect, because I've never met you before. You launch into that, I'm out, is such a sensitive topic. I don't know you. So phrasing it the way that Kay put it, now my mind's thinking, and I'm like interested in, why are you asking me that question? You're not digging deep inside my mind and heart before we even had a chance to shake hands.
Very good. All right. Her story, I thought she did a very compelling story because it was a testimonial of somebody that she has actually worked with, which was amazing. Now, for those of you who may not have a story yet, that's okay. You can borrow one. If you have direct sales, you can borrow one from your upline. Look online, see what some of the things that other people are saying that you can borrow. So it's okay to borrow testimonials and stories and different things. Does anybody have anything that she could add, or did you love that story?
That was a great story.
Okay.
One thing the how, I don't think you ever mentioned hypnosis.
Yeah, she did at the
not
end.
until the hashtag at the end. So.
Yeah, so I think you need to have the how. Like, how did you help him curb his addiction? How did you help him?
One of the things that hypnotists have a problem with, just so that y'all know, is the stigma associated with being too woo-woo. So sometimes it's better to not say and then have a discovery call, and they can share that with you. Now, not always, but there are some people that are very adverse to that, just even thinking about it. Go ahead, Sarah.
So with that said, why would she want those clients if they see it as something that they don't believe in?
Well, not necessarily believe in, but they might have a preconceived notion about what it could be about. And so she can like take care of that up front and then lead them down the path to get there. You see what I'm saying? It might be something, I'll be honest with you. I was one of them. That's why I can say, there's no way that, I'm going to be talking to anybody who thinks they're going to hypnotize me, because I've got too much invested in my brain and I don't want somebody jacking with it. Okay.
You're an eagle and you don't want to act like a chicken on stage, right? No.
I think there's ways to phrase it and frame it so you don't say hypnosis. She could say something like, I help you shift and rewire your thought processes. People are way more open to that kind of phrasing. And it still conveys the how without using that word. So when they're in the conversation, the way I shift and rewire your thought processes is by using hypnosis. So there's still a way to frame it.
I love that.
That's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah. That's
the other thing I was going to add was, the other thing I was going to add is the transformation isn't that he stopped drinking, it's his life changed. So I would add a little bit about, before our sessions, he was drinking a lot and this is how it affected him. And after the sessions, this is how, like a bit more of that transformation of that hero story in there, just a little bit.
Went from here to here.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that, Angela. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
basic
I'm
feedback.
excited to hear it next week.
yes, absolutely.
Sophia
Okay,
keeps
so
raising
she's
her
got,
hand.
she's got
Sophie
that.
has a question.
Sophia keeps raising her hand.
I was just trying to wait for everyone.
You can't wait in here, Sophia. You just got to hop in, sister.
Okay. So I was going to say that one of the things that gave a clue about her process was that she indicated that after, either a couple of sessions, this was how he experienced a transformation. So I thought that gave some light to that. It was a shorter process. So then people would ask the question, well, what do you do exactly to bring about this change?
Yeah, she said after one session, and considering how people struggle with quitting drinking, it seemed too good to be true.
Yes.
Right.
And she might say that after she says that, she might say, does this sound too good to be true? And then kind of come in for that close. Just depending on how much time that she has. All right. So your call to action. What was her call to action?
To do a complimentary call.
Yeah, book a call.
And then hashtag. She had that, so she could quickly go. Yes, could quickly go through there. Now she has something rather unique. She can be here and go into different groups and all of that stuff, and this is a personal private message that most of the time, just like this, I'm probably not going to raise my hand during this session and say, hey, Jackie, that's me. I got a problem. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? So she's kind of got a unique thing. So she needs to make it very clear that this is totally confidential to reach out. You can type hashtag, but probably a more likely scenario for you would be to have it set up so that they can grab a link to talk to you privately and have that link in the chat, because that is something that's a little bit different than all the rest of us. You're not going to have all of us saying, yeah, that's me.
I have another idea, actually.
Okay.
And the idea is that because addictions come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. I mean, we're addicted to emotions, so it's patterns. So do you keep repeating a specific behavior that's not serving you, and you're really having a hard time getting out of it, and you don't even talk about addictions? Because the bottom line is that first of all, people can recognize when they're repeating the same behavior. If you don't call it addiction, it also makes them feel more comfortable about reaching out. Well, maybe she can help me, because this is a pattern for me. So it's do you have a pattern that you're stuck in that you keep repeating and you're struggling getting out of? Hey, I have a proven system. I have a proven system that in a couple of sessions, blah, 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 blah.
I love that, Kate.
Yeah.
And also addiction, the word addiction could be a trigger for someone.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear that word.
Right.
And so if you put it that way, that'll make it a lot more comfortable for them to approach you.
And you're going to find I think that you're going to attract a lot more opportunity, because really, if you start to address the issue of patterns that don't work, because we all have patterns, like that's what we're made up of, right? And so we all have patterns, but there's some that work and some that don't. Which ones are keeping you stuck where you are, doing stuff that you hate doing, but you're doing it over and over and over again, and it's wrecking your life, or it's disrupting your, whatever. Sorry, I got a little passionate there.
That's okay. Okay, we're gonna try and start wrapping things up a little bit. I apologize that we didn't get through, but we will. I promise you, next week we'll just go bam, 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 and get through everybody. So now that you are familiar with what it is that we're doing, we're working on hook, story, offer, 1 minute. Now, the other piece, the other component that I want you to really start working on is the chat. Okay, I'm seeing lots and lots of issues inside the chats of these virtual marketplaces. A couple of things. Obviously, we want to make sure that every time you go into a networking group that you save the chat. The other thing is make sure that you name it today's date and give it some type of name, like Lunch and Learn or LNLZF or whatever you want to do, to make sure that when you go into a group, this is the chat from that. The other thing is, if you come in late, you're not going to get the stuff that was already put in the chat. So that is a problem. Okay. And so that's why sometimes you see people repeating stuff, even though it drives us crazy. We don't want you doing that. The other thing is you can save it, because most people put it in Word and then copy and paste it over into the chat. So what you can do to make it easier is you can do the same. Take your chat, copy, paste it into Word. That way it looks nice and neat, and you can really read it a whole lot easier than what you could by just simply looking at that Word text file when you save chat. Make sense? All right. The next thing is now people are starting to say, we don't want all your junk in here. We just want what could fit on a business card. So let's start for next week, work on the chat where, you know, you can do, you know, hook. And if you want to have a little quick offer, main thing is we want your contact information in there. We've got our screen names up there, and you can, you know, be creative with that. But the problem with screen names changing it is when I go to find you, if you've got something in there that's not your name, I'm not going to know who that is on that follow-up chat, because all it's going to do is show up what was on the screen. So I would not encourage you to do that. I would encourage you to keep your name and maybe something in parentheses or something like that for folks. So your homework for next week is, again, bring your elevator pitch, 1-minute elevator pitch, hook, story, offer, and bring something nice to share in the chat so we all can take a look at that and give you feedback on what looks good. You don't want to write a novel. That's annoying. And you don't want to do it 15 times. That's also very annoying. If you have not done the attendance, make sure that you click on that link, because here's what we do. I send you the attendance log that has everybody's email address, nice and neat, in a nice little Excel spreadsheet. Hope you've been loving that, because it's made a world of difference in being able to follow up quickly with everybody that attends today. So do we have any closing remarks before we leave? Anybody?
Where's the attendance log in here? Do you want to put it in again?
I just put the link in there.
You just
Also,
put it in
can you put the link for the Grand Connection as well again, please?
Does anybody have that? I don't have that copied and pasted.
I'll go and
in
check
my
in my.
thing.
I'll go check in my email.
Okay. And let's see here.
I know they did send me one once, so.
Yep. Let me look. I might can grab mine right quick as well. And that is in 30 minutes.
Got it. Got it.
Oh,
Okay.
Sarah, are you still here?
I'm here.
Okay. I forgot to mention, I joined Sarah's Happy Neighborhood project this week and had a wonderful, wonderful time. And we're always talking about cross-pollinating with other groups. It's very powerful. It's a great way to leverage. If you have not experienced the Happy Neighborhood project, that's okay. I know everybody don't have time. Okay. I know you don't. That's why I'm out here doing it and bringing people to us so that we can cross-pollinate with other groups. But Sarah, you want to tell them when your date and time for your group is so you can give them a plug?
Sure. It's Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Central, and it's the HMP Alabama chapter.
And with the Happy Neighborhood Project, they have different times every day of the week, happyneighborhoodproject.com, and you can see all of the different ones and pick and choose. And they have 2 breakout sessions, and you get 2 minutes to pitch, and they normally have like an icebreaker, but you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes, guys, is a very long time. And so I suggest that you have 2 different pitches available. So sometimes you get in with the same group of people, you know, there might be a couple of the same, and you don't want to have to repeat yourself saying the same pitch to the same person twice. So you might change it up a little bit so they learn a little bit more about you in that. So anyways, Happy Neighborhood Project. So we've got Grand Connection today. We've got the Influity on Thursday. Gabriella, are y'all having another party this week?
Yeah, every Thursday, Dr. Scott does a podcast viewing party and then a unique networking, and then we have a posting party.
Okay.
So I put the link for next Thursday in the chat earlier.
There's another one tonight. Like, don't you have a posting party this afternoon?
I do, but that's not the Influity one. So
Oh,
if you want to,
sorry.
if you look at, if you want to come to some of my others, I had 9 this week. I put the link to the registration page in my info in the chat.
And just to give, again, to reiterate the power behind this, you want as many people participating in these parties as possible, no matter if it's your group or not your group, because what happens, guys, is when LinkedIn sees that there's activity on your post, that means the comment, more than 5 words, something, you know, heartfelt and honest on there, and the emoticon, you know, other than the thumbs up and all of that, says, oh, this is something worth looking at. So what it does is then opens up your post and shows it to more people. So that's how we're getting thousands of views from people that we normally would never get that from. So it's powerful. And for us, you know, I need you to be registered so I know who's participating, but it'll only take you just a few minutes to post your link in there during that, you know, 2-hour window, and go to some other parties. I'm encouraging you to do it, because that's how you're going to build your exposure, and it works. I mean, I'm getting tons of appointments, meeting some really great people. Did you have something, Gabriella, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I am sure. I would love to have you come to ours, and we can collaborate together if you want to see just how powerful they are. We have a few more to add to the site, but I have 3 video testimonials. Sarah's got 3 or 4 more that she's going to be adding that show the kind of what people, the results that people get. So it's not just, it's like when we were saying hook story offer, I'm letting other people tell their stories so that you get the power of just how great it is. And Nancy, you and I need to chat so we can collaborate on some of these together.
Fantastic. I know Claudio, he's had you know, thousands of views, and Dwayne was the first time last week that he said that I think he's over 1,000, which was, you know, unheard of. Deal is you're trying to increase your credibility. So anybody else, last closing remarks? All right, y'all have a fabulous week. Thank you for joining us. Next week we'll be back on track, except for we're going to continue our elevator pitches and get through everybody. See y'all later.
Thanks.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads.
Yes,
Thanks,
happy
Nancy.
Father's Day, guys.
Happy Father's Day.